Hello, who likes postcards? They're a great way to keep in touch with people, aren't they? What a better way to let someone know you're thinking of them than send them a handmade card. I'm Tamsin. I'm an artist, a bookbinder and creative tutor with a mission to help people reconnect with their creative spark. I hope you enjoy seeing my process of how I've gone about making these today, and maybe you'll be inspired to make your own and send them. Let me know, I'd love to see pictures. So to start us off, we're going to pop into the kitchen and look at some old magazines, pull out some words or phrases and some images that just appeal to us, that catch my eye, that might come in handy for putting together a composition later on. And then we're going to get some ink out and make some marks in a really mindful way, just to generate another layer of collage material. So, time for some happy collage compost.
Evergreen anchor, that's a good one. Everyone needs an evergreen anchor. I like a nice postcard on its own. So spending time creating collage compost is really valuable time, and you can just feel your heart rate drop and the breathing get deeper, paying attention to the delicious noises of the snippy scissors or the tearing paper. It's a good way to wind down. It's also a good way to warm up. Sometimes the pressure of sitting down for me anyway, sitting down and have to make art, the pressure, but sometimes you can just do some activity like this and it just eases you into your creating mode. So here's my little stack of collage compost. A lovely collection of colours and textures, different patterns. A little bit of fussy cutting for a couple of motifs I really liked, that I might use, might not. Stack of images to ruffle through again. A few quotations. And a big stack of words. So another really lovely mindful activity you can do to generate pattern and textured delicious paper for collaging with is a little bit of inkery, and I've got this absolutely gorgeous Ombre de Bermanie ink from Urban. It's calligraphy ink, but it's quite a magical thing. I'm going to have a little play with that, and these are my favourite brushes. They're from the children's section in IKEA, but they're really lovely brushes. And I think we're just going to start by writing the alphabet. Doesn't really matter what you write. You could write your name over and over again. Write your favourite poem. You could write a secret love letter. There wouldn't be much secret if you filmed it like I'm doing. The lovely thing about working with ink and a brush is that's just this beautiful, sensual, tactile flow, fluidity. I'm not doing anything fancy, just brushing some ink. It's not precious. Probably rip it up later, use it for something else. Oh, we've run out of space, doesn't matter. Let's put that to one side to dry. Let's make some brush prints. Let's go the other way. Can't even tell you what paper I'm using. I think I pulled it out of the back of an old sketchbook. Definitely has a ripped out of a book appearance to it. If you're thinking of using your inking play for collage, think about the weight of the paper. I think if you're going to cut and stick paper, it's probably better to use a lighter weight grey, do something 90 grams per square metre or less. It's pretty, isn't it? I don't know if you can see it, the ink up here where it's really liquid is bleeding into the paper, so that's kind of fun. Let's do some circles and let's overlap them. Ooh. Don't have to be perfect. The circle police are not going to come and tell me off, because they're my circles or my round shapes. They could be coins, gold coins, I'd like some of those. They could be seeds. These are starting to look a little bit like cobbles on a path. So that might be cool. Let's do one more row. Just swoosh along a bit in between these rows of what could be conifer trees. Look at that. Or they could be fingerprints, footprints, hoofprints. I'm going to squish through here as well. Get some gold. It's such a lovely golden ink, this. And it layers up beautifully. There we are. There's the end of the inkery. A few doodles, nice collage compost. Okay, we're ready to make some postcards. I've got a stack of lightweight card that I've torn up from bigger sheets that I have in my stash, but you could use off the shelf blank postcards, glue stick, quality glue sticks, always worthwhile paying for. Pair of scissors. I have my bundle of words and quotations. I've got my inkery, and I've got my stack of collage compost. And often when I'm starting making postcards, I'll start with something like this that's a ready-made postcard going on here. So let's just do that for starters. Try and find some space. Here we go. And I'm going to pick a card that I think would look nice. A bit of grey will be nice for that, won't it? And I think that will fit on there really well. And the knack for doing big area is to just cover the whole card in adhesive. Use some scrap paper to protect your table and also just stop the sticky spreading everywhere. I don't know if you've ever been in the situation where you found glue somewhere or you really have no idea where it got. It can be very, very upsetting actually if you spent time creating something beautiful to then find that you've splodged glue and stuck something else quite randomly to it. Now I'm just going to guess, obviously with this one you do kind of want it to line up and be level and not irritating to look at, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a handmade postcard. Smooth it down. You want to avoid little bubbles of glue and air pockets under there and make sure it's really well stuck down. Then it's really straightforward. Just to trim off the excess paper. There you go, easy peasy, beautiful postcard. Number 1. I'm a bit of a shocker, I shall save all these little bits because they'll get stuck in a journal somewhere. Oh, how pretty is that? Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and make that into a postcard as well. I'm going to go with orange this time. More scrap paper. Stack of scrap paper, okay. Oopsie, jiggling around. Just guessing. Little element of chance going on. Smooth that down. Sometimes if I want to be quite fussy in particular about where to put things, I might start off by folding the paper and then just assessing the situation. Hope you can see what I'm doing. It's, working with a camera in front of your nose is a bit tricky sometimes. Okay, now then, let's see if we've got some words that will go with that. How about this from Brené Brown? The dark does not destroy the light, it defines it. Our fear of the dark that casts our joy into the shadows. And do you know what? It would be lovely is this little lantern. Yeah, that's quite cute, isn't it? I'm just going to curve the edges of this snipped out quotation because the lantern's quite curvy and also it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye being curvy. There are no rules, so it's just a question of moving things around until you find a composition you like. I'm just trimming the outline of this quotation from William Shakespeare that I thought went quite well with these images on this card here. So I put that pretty little picture of books, stack of books, and that leafy plate onto some inkery that reminded me sort of a map of a garden, and I'm going to pop that quotation right there. And I thought a wiggly outline would be more attractive than a straight line one. Bit more organic. We like it organic. And then I quite like this jiggly edge with the leaves, and I'm just going to try and decide how to do it. I'm going to rip down this one. Just come out there a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So it's quite nice to have a different sort of edge, a decal edge. What I don't like is that dink out the bottom. If this was something formal, I'd probably get a bit fussy about having a mixture of uneven edges and cut edges, but like I said just now, this is just a handmade postcard. And that's some accidental blue that's come off of the scrap paper, but I don't mind it on this because it sort of goes with that Diablement ink there. There you go. Another postcard. Clear that out of the way. And I put some of that beautiful big letters onto an orange card, and I found this picture of this murmuration of birds. I thought just those glowy orange colours go so well together, and really doesn't have to be fussy and complicated. It can just be a gorgeous picture and some gorgeous hand inkery. So I would say just go with your instincts. Go with your instincts and your taste, and your ability to make creative decisions will come through. Now this is a picture of some wallpaper I put onto a yellow card, and because it's roses I picked these words out. Everything's rosy. Well, I can't decide whether to just pop it straight in the middle, stick it on the bottom to cover up those cushions. I'm going to put it down there. Look, cover up those cushions. Don't like those. See, you can have quite quickly. You can have a nice stack, a couple of hours around the table, a nice stack of postcards. Now I might come back to this, see what else we can find in the stash. So I've got this illustration of a rose I've cut out of a old book, not a precious one. It looks really good on there, so I'm going to stick that on. And then we've got another beautiful postcard. Now, with a big stick-on thing like that, it's quite good to have something to smooth it out with. It's just a piece of card that came with a brooch on it. There we go. Just that smoothed down. And next, I've got this little collection of things here. This is a card that I stuck just a magazine page on. Look, it's a little bit bumpy there. Never mind. And I just found a collection of things that I think look really cool on there. So that's a pair of shiny shoes. Just appealed to me. I'm just going to pop that on there. Look, how pretty is that? and I really wanted to cover up this little bit of the image that isn't a strip of wallpaper, so I cut out some of my inkery, and I've got this little fringe to go along the bottom, which I think will look really nice, and it'll pull out the orange colour of what actually look like oranges on that picture of wallpaper. The good thing about a nice tacky stick glue is that will allow you to slide your collage around. And then I'm still deciding between your style and sorted. What do you think? I think because we're having a bit of a fashion moment with the shoes, we'll go with your style. There we go, it sort of pulls it together. Do we want the sorted as well? Oh, more is more. Let's have the sorted as well. Oh, and it's gone on wonky. Nice. Bit quirky. Let's have a couple more. So this was a big advert that was in the paper, and I cut out this little banner. This is my happy place. I think gardens have been very much our happy place in recent times, and thank goodness for wonderful Horatio's garden. It gives you inpatients at spinal units a happy place to go to. Simple, huh? And let's go with this one. Okay, so this again is another Interiors magazine spread that's this just wonderful wallpaper samples that are all like minerally. And then here's this cut-out teacup with primrose in it, and I just quite like the naughty juxtaposition between those two things. I'm just gonna, when you've cut things out carefully and there's a little bit sticking out like that primrose, you've got to be careful. So I would recommend starting with the glue stick in the centre of your piece of collage and move out to the edge so that you're covering the glue, but you're not you're reducing your risk of ripping off that delicate little bit. And then you saw my sneaky tip of picking it up with the glue stick. Just one of those things I've discovered for myself over the years. Smoothing that down. I'm going to get my little bit of card again just to give me an edge. Take the air bubbles out. A little bit surreal, isn't it? Fantastic. And there we have it. We've got a lovely piece of editorial photograph. A surreal cup of primroses. A happy place. Your style sorted. Everything rosy. Gloriously orange murmuration. Our bodies are our gardens, our wills are our gardeners, by William Shakespeare. The dark does not destroy the light, it defines it. It's our fear of the dark that casts our joy into the shadows. Brené Brown. Trees are poems that the earth writes upon the sky. Khalil Gibran. And a glorious blue looking to the future.